Are criticisms flung our way always due to envy, or can they be due to flaws we have, such as, quote, grandiosity, or anger, or fears that we didn't know we had? Well, I think it could be both. For one thing, many people do not want to be treated with disrespect, to be condescended to. We also don't like angry people toward us often. But it strikes me that those particularly who are creating content or making anything happen in their lives that is significant in quantity even, will tend to receive a lot of blowback toward those who cannot do it. For instance, some people have advised writers criticized for things in their books or blog articles or videos to fling back at the person, well, where's your book? It seems to me that's not exactly the best idea in the world, but it does bring up these points. Why doesn't someone else create anything, really? Why do they simply typically go to a job and veritably keep their nose clean, perform some modicum of functions, and collect a paycheck? It seems to me the following are some key points that a number of people cannot do, and it bugs them to no end, then, that some other people can. The following are some examples, I think, key points. And these are taken from my own life, as I've transitioned to being a writer, say, in the last 3 years of publishing, that is. And before then, too afraid to hit the print button, etc. First, I think there's issues of perfectionism, wherein we're afraid of criticism if something isn't flawless. But secondly, and here's other ideas, we could have such chronic anger that this clouds our level of efficiency. Kind of like saying you can't think straight because you're so angry. Or our fear levels can be so high. We can be such catastrophizers that, again, we can't think straight. And we tend then to try to distract ourselves with all manner of different distractors. We may thus overwork, have relationship addictions. We may watch too much television. We may enjoy violence in terms of certain activities to distract us from our painful thoughts too, our anger and our fears. Or we may be too bummed out in general, and even sleep too much as a result. Escapism that way. Some would call this, quote, depression. Or we may be so wrapped up in conforming, unless we get, quote, kicked out of the group, whatever size that may be, that we engage in many things that are quite costly in terms of our time, money, and emotions, and freedom in general for movement, so to speak. And that thus greatly impinging upon our capacity to do anything called writing, video work, what have you. Or we may even have an addiction to chaos to distract us, such that we enjoy the environments that are quite chaotic. Many in urban setting, for instance. We love the noise. We love the number of distractors per square inch, such that we don't have time for a variety of reasons then for doing anything else, including writing, or video work, or blogging, etc. So to recap, I think in general, to have too many fears, too much anger, these two basic components can so consume our lives that we cannot do anything really in an efficient manner and conduct life in more than survival mode. And we'll spend a lot of time trying to distract ourselves in general from our painful thoughts, our painful emotions. So the next time we receive any criticism saying, well, your material really isn't of much value to me or anyone else, or who do you think you are? It strikes me there could be other issues that are kingpin issues. Maybe the people simply can't produce what you did because they're too consumed with their own fears and anger that they haven't worked through. And these put great hamperers, great constraints on their efficiency and application of their time. They're too busy in survival mode, too busy running to grow, to produce anything more than the minimum required, basically, for survival. Thus, on breadcrumb status rather than happiness status. Thoughts to consider here.